All right, guys, we're about to rip the whole roof off this Jayco and replace the traditional style roof with a composite panel roof. So 100% waterproof and he's more durable. So jump in, I'll show you why. Now we got this thing delivered to us with no lights in it, so we're not, and we've been informed not to put lights back in there because apparently the owner is going to put some sort of strip lighting or something in aftermarket. Now my light here is terrible, it's really focused in on one spot, but you can see up here we've got wood damage in the roof. Oh, I'll move the light over. You can see here we got wood damage up in the roof and it sort of runs right down around the edge. We've got some nice fungus growing there, delicious, don't eat it. Yeah, you can see over the other side here, nice amount of water staining and damage there as well. So I'll put this here so it gives me some ambience, and I'll talk about the structure of the roof here. Now, these roofs here in these Jayco pop tops, the way that they've been built for a long time, you cannot just replace this panel. It's not possible. So, and if you take your van somewhere and you've got water damage on your panel, and they tell you that they will just change a panel over, it's not the proper way to fix it. And it's not the best idea because I'll tell you what. So this panel here actually lips under this edge here about 20 mil. 20 mil, is that right, Josh? Yeah. About 20 mil or so, roughly. So it tucks under, and that's the extrusion of the edge roof, and that clips over the panel here. So the panel itself is about 23 mil thick, and all of it is one built panel, and when it's back at Jayco, they build it all on the bench there, and then they go and clip the extrusions around the roof. So I've seen it firsthand now. And basically what we are going to do is we're going to pull the whole roof off the van, flip it upside down, and strip it all apart so we get those extrusions. We scrap all of this crap because it's all timber frame, ply, and crappy insulation, and then fiberglass on the top. We'll scrap the whole lot, throw it in the bin. We'll get a composite panel made, so fiberglass with XPS foam, traditional composite style panel, what new vans are being built out of. We'll get one custom made to suit this. We'll put all of our loading points in here, so things for this. Customer doesn't want lights. It'll be a one piece for the whole roof. It'll be fiberglass on the outside, fiberglass on the inside, and 100% waterproof. Heaps stronger as well. So we're gonna get it done. I'm gonna pull this roof off, and once it's off the van, I'll give you a bit of a run through on exactly how the roofs come apart and basically how it all works, the extrusions. Okay, there we go. So we have pretty much got this to a stage where the roof's now about to come off. So I'll show you what we've done. Starting out here, obviously we've taken the aircon off. Start that again. Okay. So yeah, we've got this to the point now where we're about to take it off the van. So I'll show you quickly what we had to do to get it to this stage. Now the awning had to come off the side of the van, and then if you jump inside, I'll show you what we've done in here. Now, at the moment, the roof is sitting up on these corner blocks, so it can't move anywhere, it can't fall off, and it's stable. So we've had to go and take the gas struts off, so the gas strut's taken off, and then that way it can sit down onto those corner blocks. Then we go around, we're taking every screw out of the canvas, so we can pop all the canvas out and pretty much get all the wiring unhooked and everything. So the roof is just sitting on these blocks by itself, nothing's hooking it up. So we're about to take this off. We're gonna go chuck it onto some stands. And yeah, oh yeah, we did have to take the stays off. So, all right, let's do that. Let's get this thing off the roof. The fun part's the heavy part. We'll get it down, sit it on some stands, and yeah, we'll start pulling it apart, and I'll show you that. All right, who's going front and who's going? Should we keep the mic on in here so we can hear everyone struggling?
Yeah, absolutely. Put it on camera there or something.
Should we go there and then jump outside?
Touch it to the canvas.
Look, you go out the front.
I'm going to turn this off.
there we go. So we got the roof off the van now, and now we can see on the top here sort of what's going on with those water leaks. So let's have a look at that first. If you come, let's go down this back corner because I think this was the worst. So you can see along here, we've got that slight little bit of separation there along the edge. This is an aftermarket seal by the looks of it, but it's just not very well done. Around this side's probably the worst, I reckon, this corner. And actually, I think, let's have a look. Yes, if you have a quick look under the roof here, this was the worst section of the roof, not the other side. I was just backwards. Now, if you have a look up here, you can see exactly why and what's causing it to happen. We've got that split that's coming right down the side here. And what happens is this extrusion, and we will pull it apart and show you this, but this extrusion here and this fiberglass and timber roof, the timber roof here slots inside this extrusion and lips over. So that usually has an overseal. But when Jayco do these, they sort of just do a really small thin bead there. But we do them as an overseal. So it's got a 10mm overseal either side, and then it's definitely waterproof. So we're gonna flip this over. So we'll flip the whole roof over now with a bunch of us, and then we'll start taking it apart and we'll show you the process of how it sort of comes apart. Okay, there we go. Bit noisy because the guys are unscrewing everything. So now you'll see here, we've got screws that run around this extrusion all the way around the roof. Now, that's what holds the extrusions nice and tight to these panels. Yeah, let's film the video and then we'll keep undoing the screws. So it's very noisy. I'm kidding. So yeah, we got these screws that run around. That's what they're just undoing now. These screws hold the frame and the extrusion all nice and tight together. It is bonded in there as well, so it's got some glue. And this is one whole piece of extrusion. So it's not in separate pieces, not riveted, nothing. It's all molded exactly like that. So that way it's a C-section which caps over this roof panel here. So we're gonna take all of those screws out around the edges there. And then there is actually pop rivets in the corner brackets here. So we've got some pop rivets on the ends there. So we'll go and drill those out as well. Once we've done that and we've broken all that seal, we'll be able to take each corner section off in one piece, so they'll come out. So a little bit different to your standard pop tops, where they run a welded roof frame and the panel sits down in it. They're a lot easier to do. So these Jaycos are a little different, but look, still pretty easy. We do lots of them. So we'll get this all apart. We'll pull it out and show you once the panel and the extrusions are all separate pieces. Okay, look at the mess that the guys have made for them to clean up. We have, finally we've stripped this all apart. So the whole roof's apart now. We'll show you the main structure of the roof in a second, but for now we've got the extrusions off. So I'll run you through this first. Now, this is the side of the Caravan that the awning goes on. So this is the door side, and you can see here, this is exactly what I was talking about. We got the extrusion for the roof with the C-channel here where the roof slides into. So pretty much what happens is, I'll get a bit of the roof here. So this is an edge part of the roof here. And what happens now is this roof is made as one whole big panel. If you turn around, you'll see it over there. We will shoot over to that in a second, but we'll focus on this for now. So it's got a piece of timber right around the exterior of the roof, and it's got very little framing inside the roof. It gets majority of its strength really from the fiberglass skin, the ply internal panel, and the foam inside there, which is all glued and pressed together. So what happens then is that is actually installed like that. So it's a perfect snug fit, and that's your roof. So that's what you see from the top, that's what you see from the inside, and that's how they go together. Now, skipping back to when I was in the van at the start of this video, and I was saying how people saying that they can repair them by cutting panels out. Now you tell me that you can cut a panel out when this section of the panel here is installed like this. So what I'll do, let's draw a line on it. It'll come off the thing. We'll take that off later. So that means there's that much of the panel that we're not being able to replace by cutting it along that edge there. And then really what you're doing essentially is you're just gluing a panel butt up against that and sealing it in. It's more of a patch than a replacement. So anybody who says they can replace panels on the insides of Jayco roofs without removing the roof and pulling it apart is only patching your roof up. It's not a proper repair. So proper repair, pull it all apart like this, strip everything back, rebuild the roof, whether you're using a composite panel like we are or building your own traditional framed roof. You can do it either way. Being the thickness of these roofs, they're only 19mm frame, 3 mil and 2 mil. So we're talking like, I think, 23 mil.
These are 23 mil there.
23 mil. We've just measured up our composite panel. 23 mil thick there. Laying a timber down like this, they're never really strong unless you can press the panel like it's done. We'll jump back over there. I can sit that there. We'll jump over here. Now, this is the roof that we had. So we've gone and we've just ran a jigsaw right around the roof just to be able to take the center part out. So then it's easier for us to pull apart. We're not fighting against the other sides. Now, you can see here, the only timber that they've ran inside the roof is that exterior frame, which we've cut off. This is that piece, which run roughly there, ran right around the exterior. It's only a 19 by 42 Meranti. Might even be thinner than that. We've got a piece here, right where the main center joint is, and another one here. That's all the timber inside the roof. Oh, sorry, actually, we've got supports at the end here as well. Couple of pieces, and that's where our easy lifters connect into the roof, so it's nice and solid there. So, but apart from that, it is just polystyrene, a sheet of fiberglass, and some ply that's all being pressed glued together. So now a lot of these vans, this is about a 2008 or 9 model, around about that. Now you'll see that a lot of the older models, they used to run a beam that ran straight down the center here. And those were terrible. That was about the 2004 they ended that. So if you got Jayco before 2004 and you had that beam that runs down the middle, you might find that the roof sags in the middle because they lose a lot of the structure there. Campers still do the same, or they did the same right up until like 2014, I think. So I may be wrong, so don't quote me on that. But yeah, so you can see pretty much the general structure of the roof and how it all goes together. We are basically going to go away from this design, and we're getting a fiberglass composite panel with XPS foam all made up, and we'll install that. So it's going to be the exact same size, but it's going to be fiberglass on the outside, fiberglass on the inside, all the foam in the inside there as well, and it will be super strong, super nice, all one piece, fully waterproof. We'll put all the roof back together the same way, glue inside the extrusions, clip it all over, fix it all back together. Once we flip the roof back over, we'll seal it all. This one here is getting a dust reduction system in it as well, and it is not getting lights put back in. The customer has asked us not to put lights on it, so I believe they're running their own system of lights. So there we go. Pretty cool design on how we're doing it anyway. I think it's heaps better way. We'll show you guys once we get the roof panel back in and we're putting it back together. Okay guys, there we go. So we have the panel back now from the guys who make the panels for us. So we don't make these in-house, they're just made around the corner here in Adelaide. So basically I'll give you a quick run through on what it is. This is a standard composite panel that they use in a lot of the newer vans that you will see in the caravan industry. This is what Kokoda also were using. You would have seen our factory tour there. This is what they're using to build their vans. So it is a lot thinner though. So being a pop-top roof, we have to go to a certain thickness so it can fit into the extrusion. So this is only a 23 mil thick roof. Now it is fiberglass one side, fiberglass the other side with an XPS foam inside of it. So it is fully closed cell, 100% waterproof, and is super lightweight, and most importantly is super, super strong. Way more insulated than you'll get in any other traditional build style. So that's why we are going with a composite panel on these. This is the van over here. You would have seen at the start of the video, the roof on it was that traditional timber style. So we're just gonna piss that whole old system off, go with a whole new composite panel. Heaps better. I'll show you how the extrusion works. So here is the roof extrusion. I don't know if this is the front or the back, but you can see here, we've got a section in here of the extrusion, which is 23 mil. Now, what's going to happen is we're going to go, it's all been dried up in there, but we're going to go put some glue inside of that. And then this extrusion is going to click over that edge there into place. We'll square it all up, and all the edges will go on. So that other edge will go on right around. Once it's all squared and into place, it'll all get screwed in. So it'll have screws everywhere. Now you can see on the other side here, up underneath, this is the exterior of the roof. So this is what faces up. We do have that edge there. That's where your main crucial water part. Okay, sorry guys, I got distracted. There's a customer just walked in who was watching me video and it distracted me. So, all right, so what I was just saying is, so underneath here, this is the top side of the roof. So this is what the sun blares down on, and we've got this edge here between the extrusion and the panel. Now this is the spot where we get our main water leaks in a traditional style pop top. So because water lands on this roof, if this seal here goes, water gets down underneath there and inside of the roof. So now what we're doing is we're gonna seal inside this extrusion. So it's gonna have seal on the inside there. Then on the outside here, it gets an overseal by 10 mil on either side. So that basically makes sure that if water ever lands on the roof, it can't get past that overseal. If it ever does get past that overseal, we've got sealant inside there to stop it getting inside of the van. If it ever gets past that one, it's a composite panel and it's fully waterproof, so it's not gonna do any damage anyway. You just have to go back and seal the roof. So heaps better way. I don't know why they're not doing them from factory. It should be done. Anyway, we'll get this thing together. We'll show what it looks like all together. There we go. We have the extrusions all mounted to the new composite panel. So essentially the roof is all put together now. We've fixed it all in. It's got all its screws all in there now. And we have gone and marked out exactly where the lifters for the roof are going to be going. Now there is a 100 mil aluminium plate inside of here to support it. So it's a big, I think it's 1200 by 100 mil plate inside the roof there, 5 mil thick. So that's what we're going to be tapping into. But we've got all our measurements from the roof before it came off, and that's where they sat exactly before. So when we put the roof up onto the van and we get everything all hooked up, canvas, struts on, the whole lot, and it's sitting up where it's meant to be, then we can make sure that everything lines up to these exact marks. And then if it does, we know we're all sweet and we're in the same spot. So look, it's coming together pretty good. This only took probably 15 minutes or so to chuck the extrusions on. We're about to flip this roof over, get a few guys, chuck it up on the van, and we'll get this thing all put back together. So I might show you it at the next stage of being up on the van and as the canvas is going back on or the struts going on or wherever we get to. Okay, there we have it. So roof is all together now and we're about to chuck it up onto the van and meet them together. It is the other way around at the moment. So this is the front of the Caravan. That's the back, obviously the van's sitting over there. Now we did have a cutout in the front here. So 400 cutout for a Dometic dust reduction system. That's the only fixing that's going to be going back on the roof of this van. That's it. No lights, no nothing. The customer's doing a different lighting system. He's doing that himself. So we're gonna spin this thing around, get a couple of the strongest looking guys in here and help us chuck it up onto the van, and we'll start getting all the canvas in, get all the gas struts on, the whole lot. And it should be pretty sweet for today, I reckon. Then tomorrow we'll come back in, seal it all up, put the dust system in there, and make sure everything's finalised. Then hopefully the next day it's good to go home. This is actually a bit of a offcut, the section that we've cut out for the dust reduction system. So I'll give you a quick run through on what it actually is. The XPS foam in the inside, we've got a fiberglass skin and a fiberglass skin. Now what they do is they route out like little core lines into the XPS foam, and then they spray a glue over it. The panel gets laid on top and on the bottom, and then it gets put onto a table and it gets pressed down into a big press. Now it sits like that for I think about 5 to 7 hours. I may be wrong there. 5 to 7 hours or so until all the glue and everything dries, and then it becomes a one-piece sandwich panel. Now, as you can see, even with it cut open like this, it is fully watertight. No water can get in there, and that means it's a closed-celled roof. And the awesome thing about it is it's super, super light and it is super strong. So it does not break. So, you know, we don't recommend it, but we've had these roofs and I've stood up on them. I did one of my own vans, one that I bought with a fully rotted out roof, put one of these in here, and then 2 of us guys, we stood up in the middle of the roof without any deflection. So that's how strong they are, even at only 23 mil thick. I don't recommend standing on your roof though. So, all right, let's get it on. Okay, there we go, guys. We are at the stage where the roof is back on this thing now. Canvas has just been all put in, and Josh is here hooking up all the gas struts. So we've got some presents going in there as well. So we've got a box there for a dust reduction system. So you can see the holes cut out there. And inside the van here, they're just lining up the gas struts, installing everything. So making sure the roof is all aligned and sitting on its own gas struts now. So the roof itself is looking really, really good. It's an absolute mess in here, as it always is. But look, we'll go through, we'll clean all that up at the end as well. So we are about to get this thing sitting up on its own gas struts. Then it will run down to the scaff bay and it will get into between the scaffs and get all the roof resealed. Dust reduction system put on, and it should all be good to go home. All right, guys, there we go. We're back on this roof that we're rebuilding for this Jayco, and we are about 95% finished with this one at the moment. Our composite panels all back in, put together, and we've just resealed the whole roof. So come up, check out what we've done, and I'll show you the roof. Perfect. So this has just all been resealed. Most of the reseal work was done yesterday, so that's why there's a little bit of dirt and dust on the roof, but that's just from overnight and stuff. But look, the whole roof has been resealed. We've got a dust reduction system installed there, which was shown in another video. That is going to be put on this morning and all fixed up. And then realistically, all that's really left on this job is just the new gas struts. So it does need new gas struts on this one. Not because the roof is heavier, but before we even started working on the roof, it was kind of kicked out of alignment. So that's because the gas struts were failing on one side, and that's pushing the roof out of square. So we're going to replace the gas struts, get new ones in there, so it's all sitting square, and then this van's going to be fully finished. So the next video I'll show you will be its fully finished stage, out the front, washed, ready to go home. All right, guys, there we go. We are standing out here, and it is extremely windy, like crazy windy out here. So excuse if it is picking up on the camera or the mic. So now, all done with this roof job now. It is fully finished. We just hosed it off, got all the dust off the roof, and I think it's about to go home in literally like half an hour. So check it out, come in, and I'll show you the roof first. I think we might have covered it already, but we'll have another look. Here we go. Not much to see up here. Obviously, there's no solar yet. I believe the customer's doing all that. But we've just got that dust reduction system, which is looking pretty good. I'll show you down on the inside. All right, there we go. So now this one here, we got no lights on the roof. I think I might have explained that in one of the videos. Customer doesn't want to go with lights on this one, so that's why there's no lights. One-piece roof. I know I keep saying this in this video. Fully waterproof, right front to back, no joints. It's a seamless roof, and you can see in the corners we've got no wood rights. So now we don't do anything with the canvas. We'll give it a wipe down. I might get one of the guys to give it a wipe down, but any of the repairs on the canvas, if it needs repairing, we don't do that here. So look, not a lot to show in here. Obviously, no water leaks. We've just water tested it. Got the dust reduction system in here. Now this is the Dometic system. They are fan forced, so air forces in, creates positive pressure inside the van, and stops it from being able to scoop in dust from the outside. So you can see here they've got a filter in it as well. Need a replaceable filter there. Easy to change as well. A lot of these ones, a lot of the dust reduction systems are real pains in the ass to change, especially like the Caravans and stuff. You got to jump up on the roof, take the top off, just to change a filter. Where this one here, you can just pop it down, pull the filter out, chuck a new filter in, air it out, whatever you need to do. So look, I think this job's come up really, really nice. Looks super good. It's very, very windy out there, but the job itself is absolutely perfect. Very happy with it, and I think the customers will be too. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next one.